Hi, I'm back again, Jeff Galashaw. Of course I'm Jeff Galashaw. Who else would I be? I know I have a passing resemblance to Jake Gyllenhaal, but still, unfortunately, no, it's me, Jeff Galashaw. And I'm here with another episode of Rough Cuts. This unfinished business presents Rough Cuts, excuse me. And this week we're going to be talking about the film Sleepwalk with Me, which is written, directed, and stars Mike Brigabala. I'm sorry if I get the name wrong, but he is a well-known stand-up comic, and this is the film version of his one-man show, which is pretty much about, he has a sleepwalking condition, which, causes him to sleepwalk, sleep talk, and have vivid dreams where, he pretty much acts them out only, live and in person. He thinks he's in some weird fantasy, but he's actually just in his apartment or his hotel room. It also marks how the rise of his stand-up career basically kind of destroys his romantic relationship with the girl he's engaged to marry. But as his career goes along, he finally finds his voice. But unfortunately, when he finds his voice, it kind of alienates the person he loves the most, which I thought was a very interesting theme when it comes to this film. And I have to say, I really enjoyed the film. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it's the most entertaining. It's kind of a little bland. It's probably something you've seen before, but then again, I've seen a lot of movies that are like it. But the things I said about it before, about, it showing his career and, how it goes with his relationships, that was something I hadn't seen in a lot of films of this type. It's funny, it deals with a lot of emotions, but I have to say, it's actually a very good movie, I would more or less give it more of a B minus. It's a personal story. It obviously means more to him. And when you're telling a personal story, it can be universal, but unfortunately, that doesn't mean, everybody who watches it is going to be able to sit there and say, oh, well, I know what he's going through. There's some universal themes, but it's not entirely universal. Now, it helps me because a little shocking thing, I do want to try and become a stand-up comic one day, or at least a comedic performer. So watching this film and how he learns jokes and, how he comes up with material was interesting to me. And it really shows or makes you question, what's the difference between stand-up and what's the difference between a one-man show? Because essentially, you're on a stage in front of an audience for an hour, and it's just you talking, or I guess you acting or playing a persona, and, trying to get engaged with the audience. But I guess, more or less, when it's stand-up, it's 5 minutes to 30 minutes, and it's just supposed to be joke after joke after joke, and maybe trying to get them to like you. When it's a one-man show, it can be more dramatic. It has to be entertaining, it can be funny, but it can also be dramatic, very emotional. It could even be downright depressing if you want it to be. It all depends on the performer and or the writer. So I would have to say, go check this film out. If you want to go see it in theaters, great, good for you. I just think this is more of a film you can probably wait for home video for. Though you should eventually check it out. I mean, it isn't really that racy. It's downright actually quaint. It's, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a family film, but there's not too much objectionable stuff. Maybe it's a family film for teens and, the older folk or the more adults who might get a little bit more out of it. The film also has a lot of cameos by up-and-coming comedians that if you're really into the comedy scene, you'll recognize, and it's nice to see them, all come together, collaborate for one of their own projects. So I would have to say, I definitely would say it's worth watching, but, you don't have to run out to the theater and check it out. So we have come to that point in the program where it is time for sponsors. So let me get out my handy card so I can tell you what they have to say, which of course is all just self-promotion anyway, but at least I'm honest with you. If you like what you see, please check out older episodes of both The Cinephiles and Unfinished Business on YouTube, The Cinephiles channel. Subscribe and leave comments. Let us know how we're doing. We also have a film review blog at cinephilestv.blogspot.com. Check it out. Must enunciate. If that wasn't enough, yes, we have a Facebook page. which includes the latest film news and open forums. And I have to say to you all out there, we have finished this business, but remember, there's always unfinished business. But first, before we go, have you seen In the Company of Men? If not, why not? Because it's fucking awesome. I will leave you now. This episode is over, but until next time, I'll see you. Live long and prosper and enjoy good cinema.